Gareth, many organizations are changing their structural models, if you will. They're becoming more virtual, they're becoming much more matrix-based. How does this actually impact the leader's role?
Well, there are two separate questions there. One is about virtual organizations or increasingly virtual organizations. The other is about matrix organizations. Let's deal with them separately because they have, I think, slightly different implications. By the way, if you were in a room of 60 executives and from a variety of organizations and you say, how many of you have got teams in more than one location? I would say over half put their hand up. And we often talk about what it is to lead virtual teams. And we've developed a very simple 3-point model. 1, face-to-face first. See, human beings are hardwired for face-to-face contact. After you've established face-to-face contact, you can then use electronic means of communication, email, video conferencing, and so on. Face-to-face first. We often ask quite provocatively of the audience how many people have done internet dating. And of course, hundreds of millions of people worldwide are doing internet dating. And of course, there's a crucial problem with internet dating. You have to meet each other. And you know, when you meet people, they say, well, you look younger on your photograph, and whacked your hair. You used to have nice hair, what's happened to it? See, we're hardwired for face-to-face, so face-to-face first. Second thing is with virtual teams, you need to intensify your social interactions. So you need to get to know people quicker. This is very hard for introverts. Introverts find that hard. Tough. You've got to do it. Get up for it. And the third thing is that the costs of a dysfunctional international team or virtual team are much greater than the costs of getting it right. So that's just an argument to use against the finance department. So virtuality in a networked world is something that leaders are going to have to come to terms with more and more and more. Secondly, matrix organizations. Huge issue, but not new, by the way. Complex businesses, for example, like pharmaceuticals, particularly innovative pharmaceutical companies, have been grappling with the intricacy of the matrix for a long time. In fact, curiously, the matrix structure was invented by Philips Electronics when it matricized around product divisions and national territories. So in complex global businesses, we've now got matrices with 3 dimensions. Now, one critical feature of the matrix structure for leaders is that you can't rely on hierarchical power. Because hierarchical power in the matrix is much more opaque. It's very difficult if you look at, for example, the development of an innovative pharmaceutical product to say who's in charge of this. Because over the life cycle of the project, many people are in charge. Early stages, it might be people from research, and later it's people from development, and then it's clinical pharmacologists, and then it's pharmacologists, and toxicologists are going to have a key part to play. And this is long before we get into clinical trials. So you have to have leaders who understand that hierarchy alone will not let them get stuff done. And one of the key propositions of this book, by the way, is that leadership is fundamentally a non-hierarchical concept. So in the matrix structure, that's brought home to you really sharply. You get things done through inspiring others, through building close relationships with your followers, through using a variety of influencing styles, through being a compelling communicator, and perhaps above all, to use the language of the case method developed by Blessing White, you need to be a superb situation sensor because you have multiple stakeholders that you need to manage as you move through a matrix structure.